Imagine waking up in an unknown place with an uncomfortable feeling that something is terribly wrong. The light is dim, the air feels strange, and the ambient sound vibrates as if every surface around you were humming. As your eyes finally adjust, you realize you are not alone. 9 other people are waking up beside you, just as confused. Before anyone can ask what is happening, a metallic door opens with a loud snap, and a creature that defies your understanding of biology enters the room. Tall, thin, with eyes that seem to process far more than a human mind ever could, it announces through a device that turns alien noises into comprehensible words that you have been captured. Not by accident. Not by mistake. But as part of an experiment where only logic will determine who deserves to survive. The creature explains calmly, disturbingly calmly, that its civilization considers humans a rare delicacy. But there is an ancient law forbidding them from eating beings capable of advanced reasoning and cooperative strategy. And unfortunately for everyone there, you still have not proven you qualify. That is why a test has been prepared, an enigma that will decide whether you are treated as valuable minds or as simple food. Your stomach sinks as the alien points at each of you, almost as if evaluating potential prey. Yet there is a hint of irony in its tone, as if this were nothing but a standard procedure and you, nothing more than an interesting case study. The test begins with instructions that seem far too simple for the size of the threat. You will be lined up in a single row, tallest to shortest, all facing forward, unable to turn your head, speak outside your turn, or make any gesture. Each of you will receive a randomly assigned hat, black or white. You will not know how many of each color there are. When the signal is given, the last person in line, who sees everyone ahead, must say a single word, black or white. And so on, one by one, until the first person, who sees no one, takes their turn. If at least 9 of you guess your hat correctly, everyone is freed. If not, the experiment ends in the worst possible way. It becomes clear that this is not about guessing, it is about strategy. Before you are taken to the testing platform, the alien grants 5 minutes for discussion. 5 minutes to decide the fate of everyone. Tension skyrockets. How can you ensure that, with only 2 possible words and no additional communication, you can transmit enough information to save the group? How can a single sound carry an entire code? And how can each person, listening to what came before, deduce their own answer with absolute accuracy? Someone eventually realizes the secret lies not in the exact quantity of hats but in the pattern that quantity creates. It does not matter how many black hats there are. What truly matters is whether that number is even or odd. And that is because there is only one person who can encode this information, the last one in line. If they sacrifice their own chance of survival to transmit the key piece of data, the parity, the rest can use it to solve the puzzle flawlessly. The plan emerges. If the last person says black, it means they see an odd number of black hats. If they say white, it means the number is even. Simple, elegant, and incredibly powerful. Time is up. You are lined up. Silence hangs like a block of ice. The alien places a hat on each head while everyone tries to steady their breath. You feel the light touch of the object, but it provides no clues. When all is set, the creature announces that the test has begun. The last person scans every hat ahead. They count 1, 2, 3 black hats. 3 odd. Their voice breaks the silence, black. And although this may doom their own chance of living, it is exactly that sacrifice that makes survival possible for all others. The second person now knows precisely what to do. They look at the hats ahead, count the black ones, and notice the total is still odd. If it were even, it would mean their own hat would need to be black to restore the original parity. But because the count remains odd, their hat must be white. They answer confidently. The third person looks again and notices the pattern change. The blacks ahead now total an even number. And this reveals everything. If the parity changed, the only explanation is that their own hat must be black. A small shift, a balance adjustment, and the entire chain of reasoning advances. As the line progresses, each person applies the same logic. Compare the parity signaled initially with the parity of what they now see. If something does not match, their own hat is responsible for the discrepancy. The pattern holds with mathematical precision. Each correct answer reinforces the clarity for the next. It is almost as if everyone shares one single mind, connected not by words or gestures but by pure reasoning. Then it is your turn. The room seems to stretch as silence thickens. Everyone behind you has already answered correctly. The group's survival now depends entirely on your interpretation. You breathe in, recall every step of the strategy, think about each response, what each one signaled, what it revealed, and what it concealed. Then everything aligns. Logic converges into one inevitable conclusion. You speak your answer. And it is correct. The alien studies the group in silence. Perhaps it expected you to fail. Perhaps it hoped for it. Or perhaps it was simply too fascinated to intervene. But when it realizes all 10 of you successfully completed the challenge with near-perfect precision, the device emits a sound that resembles approval. You have proven that human logic is powerful enough to survive. The experiment ends, and the creature reluctantly opens the final door. Survival did not come from physical strength, bravery, or luck, but from the ability to find a pattern where most would see only chaos. Breathing in relief, you understand the true moral of the enigma. Sometimes one person's sacrifice saves everyone else. Sometimes shared knowledge beats uncertainty. And above all, a simple, clever strategy can draw the line between life and oblivion. If you enjoyed this challenge and want to see more puzzles like this, leave a comment saying which part of the logic surprised you the most. That helps a lot in shaping future videos. Also remember to subscribe and leave a like. Your support makes a huge difference in keeping this content alive. And if you know someone who would love to solve this riddle, share this video. I can't wait to know whether you would have survived.